Good morning, and thank you for joining me today to have a look at the new functionality we have introduced for Cim200 on the latest release. Some of you may know me already, but my name is Juuso, and I lead the Cim200 solution here at Cim Software. So today we will look at some of the new features in more detail, and I will give you a brief overview of some of the minor enhancements at the end. I wouldn't anticipate this webinar to take very long, but at least we can have a little bit of a visual what we have been working for the last 6 months or so. So if I start with available to promise, or ATP, one of the most wished items from our wish list, this functionality looks into existing orders and replenishments to determine the earliest date a sales order or sales order line can be promised to be delivered. You may have multiple different dates on a line too, or make the full line to be dispatched with the longest lead time for the line. So let's have a quick look how it looks like. So if I go first of all and into a sales order and pick up a sales order from here, and there you can see in true blueprint manner, I have already created a few items. So we have 30, 20, 22 be delivered on the 3 of the lines. And now we have a new available to promise button here on the bottom. So when we look at it, how it runs, we have some options. So we can update all the lines to the latest date. We can generate multiple promise dates per line, which I will be using on this example, and also using warehouse hierarchy if that is in use. Also, from the planning settings, there are some defaults, so including the replenishments from various sources and how to treat existing orders in the so it works exactly the same way as the MRP for that respect. So when I come into that, I click calculate, and it calculates me some dates. And from here, we can see I can deliver 3 on the 7th of April and the remainder of 17th on the 22nd of April. And that is based on either supplier lead times, build times, MRP results, wherever you have existing orders that are as demands, or any existing replenishments that are coming in. So we will get different dates for different items based on their status and quantities. Then you can apply the dates onto the sales order line, and you will get those results. Right. I have displayed that on the sales order, but the available to promise is available on the pro formas as well as the quotations. So you are not limited just on the sales order. You can do that at the quotation stage as well. Another wishlist item is to allow users to raise sub-assembly works orders when raising a top level. This functionality was available in Cim200 Manufacturing, and now has now been included in Cim200 too. There is some control as to which sub-assemblies will be raised, and this functionality is available when raising works orders manually or when creating back-to-back orders. So if we have a quick look if how that works, so I will raise a order, and let's pick up a item that will have a bill of material against it. Let's do that from there. Creating a works order. Do that for quantity of 10. and then I'll save the works order, sales order. Let's put an order number there and creating OK. And now is going away, creating the works orders for the sub-assemblies. So here you can see how many are required. And then we can go and create those works orders. So it's creating me 4 works orders. It gives me a confirmation of all the works orders that's been created for those lines, and they will be hard linked against the parent orders. So if I go and have a look here, I have now consecutive orders whereby my top level is firm linked to the sales order, and my lower level items are firm linked to the parent works order, and that way the links remain intact regardless of MRP. So those are now hard linked together. And of course, that functionality works when raising manual works orders. Just wanted to show it through the back-to-back. So on time in full metric or inquiry has been in Cim200 on a stock item level since the beginning. So it's reported on stock item per supplier for the period of 2 years. But this has been now expanded to include all the deliveries by customer over a set period of time. I find this is quite a nice little inquiry screen. So if I go and have a look at the item, it is to say it's standard demo data. So I will have to go back a few years, but we can have a look how it performs over a period of a year. So now it's going through all the sales order lines from that supplier, and will give you how many delivery lines have been requested, how many are late, what's the average days late, and the OTIF percentage over these. It's slightly peculiar with Sage because you don't need to put requested dates. So we don't actually have anything to measure against. So if you don't have a requested date on the purchase order line, you will always be reporting items to be on time. If you have, then we can have some overdues and lates. So if I exclude the orders with no requested date, giving me slightly different results. So now you can see we have a number of different items. Now we have 83 lines, of which 7 are late, and OTIF percentage is 80%. You can view that by stock item as well. So we would be able to see for that period of time, we have ordered 31, 24 of those being late. So the percentage is only 22.5%. And some of these all of them being late. So all the percentage is 0. So we can see what items are late, but it's only been one delivery of those. Maybe that's something to think about. Maybe it was a busy time. Maybe it was but 18 days late is quite a long period of time. So there's quite a nice little inquiry screen, and of course you can export all these results to Excel as well. From here if you wanted to, you can go and view the orders, just the one line on that one, and you can view receipts when they've been received as well, and by who. Good. So that's audit reporting. Some of the minor enhancements in this package include ability to allocate and issue stock directly from within the works order. So in over here, what we can go and do is to go into components, and there is allocate and issue stock buttons here. So if I would go into issuing stock items, it will say how many I can issue. Nothing on this occasion, but that would be available to you. And on a stock control, we have included now you can view the stock item description or the customer stock item descriptions. On the quality control side of things, we allow quarantine rejections to be transferred to another warehouse. So rather than writing them off or raising rework works orders or purchase returns, you can actually now have another option to transfer them into another warehouse, which typically would be a quarantine warehouse, which is not being seen as a replenishment for MRP purposes. And also from this release on, you will be able to reverse complete a works order once it's been completed into quarantine. So if it's still in the quarantine, you can still reverse complete that completion. In planning enhancements, they include an option to have MRP recommendations for new works orders going into the demand warehouse or default warehouse. So we expanded on that functionality, and now you have the option where the recommendations are for. And MRP list view, there is a new list view showing any replenishments that will be overdue. So if I show you that quickly, so if I go into the MRP list view, and we have now the replenishment warnings. So we see we have a current receipt date on 11th of April, by earliest usage date is on the 29th of March, according to the MRP. So that's where we know that they will be late, but in reality, the orders might be late as well. So there might be a little bit too still something to consider, but we will give a list of replenishment warnings there. Also, number of Cim200 imports have been enhanced to include Cim200 features that have been introduced over time but not been included on imports. So we have added that functionality there. And we also have added 4 new workspaces, 2 for shop floor data collection and a workspace to show works orders with unconfirmed costs, and 1 workspace to list works orders that can be closed. So thank you very much for joining me today. So to upgrade into the latest version of Cim200, please contact your business partner to arrange that, and I'm sure they will be happy to comply. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you.